Hi there, in this video I'm just going to show you how to get started with ChatGPT, creating a JavaScript app for you very quickly, just based on the description, and it uses the ArcGIS JavaScript API. So here you can see I have a very simple web map demo. It just has this one layer in it with some base maps, with a base map, and this is a sort of public domain feature layer I've loaded in here. If you click on share, you'll see that this is public. So there's no credentials needed in this, and we'll talk about credentials when we look at ChatGPT. But there's no, this is publicly accessible. You can just go straight in and get to the this web map, and you can see the web map ID up here, which is what I want to use in my ChatGPT description. So let's get ChatGPT to make our app. So here we are in ChatGPT 4. I think actually you pay to access this one. You can get some freebies on 3.5, but you'll have to look it up. I can't remember what the precise licensing is at the moment. But I know I've subscribed to ChatGPT 4. So what I'm going to say is, with ArcGIS Online, create JavaScript web page. I've spelled that right. JavaScript web page that displays a publicly accessible web map with ID. And that's the number you see. So that's my unique ID for that web map. And let's leave it there. Note, I have said publicly accessible. It is shared. Like I said, it's shared to the public. But obviously you can get ChatGPT to use the credentials manager or whatever it's called. Let me just bring up Notepad++. So I'm going to use Notepad++ here to actually save the HTML. So as you can see, it's whizzing through the code here for you, which obviously certainly on first appearances seems good. You know, I'm not really keen on JavaScript personally. It's never easy to debug. So I mean, it's looking pretty interesting, and it looks like it's added some widgets, not the search one I see, and then ChatGPT is giving a bit of an explanation about the various bits, but you know, interesting. So let's copy the code, let's paste it in here. I'm now going to save it as an HTML, and then let me bring this browser window here, and let us drag and drop that HTML. I'm just dragging that file onto here. Nice. Okay, so all right, it's looking interesting. It's certainly done the job. So this is completely generated by ChatGPT. It's used my map, it's used my web map ID, public accessible, no login, like I said, and it's probably, yeah, so it kept the pop-ups, obviously, the whole configuration of the web map's still there. Interesting stuff. So yeah, that's a promising start. But I'm gonna just try and kind of trip it up, really. I mean, not trip it up, just see how far I can push it, because you know, I noticed there was no search widget. So let's pull that just off the screen for a second. Now let's go to this and say add the search widget to this code and display updated code. You see, I'm being quite specific here. I don't want to just see what the piece of script is, piece of JavaScript is to add the search widget, you know, which is going to look like this, you know, it's going to be Esri widget search or whatever, and then add to the UI. You know, it's going to be something like that. But I want it to, you know, really regenerate everything. Interesting. Okay, so there it is. It's got it in there, and the code is looking pretty much as expected. You can see, if you don't know much about JavaScript, then you can quite easily see, oh look, I can move the compass, or I can move zoom or whatever to a different area of the screen. You know, you could easily just change that. You could get ChatGPT to do it, or you just edit the code yourself. So it's quite a good way, really, definitely to get to grips with the JS API. Like I said, I'm not a massive fan of this API, but anyway. So I'll copy code, go back to here, replace it all, do a save, go back to the map, and shift reload. Bingo, there's search. Nice. Okay, so that's, you know, that's pretty good. I so simply added search, looking good. I notice as well, I mean, I have got just the one layer in there, but again, let's just I mean, we could you know, add the layers widget. Let's do that. You know, let's in fact literally let's just copy that same command. But you know, you get the drift. We'll push it to a bit further at the layers widget. I think most of your JS API apps will want a layers widget. Note how you know, it's changed the title, display web map with search. See at the top there, so it's changed the title as well. So here it says display web map with search and layer list. So, and there we have it. So as expected, it's got the layer list and still got the search widget. Yeah, okay, looks relatively same. Let's copy the code. Go back to here, get rid of it all, save, drag that onto my other screen, do a shift refresh, looking good. Nice. Okay, so there's my layers widget. You see, I can turn on and off. So that's pretty good. Still, I'm relatively impressed. Let's make it do something a bit more, you know, couple of fancy things, perhaps a bit gimmicky. Okay, but we can see how far we can push this. So why don't we add a button that changes all polygons to color. Okay, so I just got a color here. Where's my RGB? Okay, so I want a button. When I press that button, display updated code. So my idea here is I just want the user to have a button that interacts with that map layer, you know, on screen. So again, useful stuff coming up, if it works. I haven't tried this. I've just sort of made it up, really. Apart from the RGB, I didn't know I wanted to sort of do this sort of thing, but I haven't actually done it. And you know, it's showing you, you know, a button. There's going to be some function with a on click. So let's see, it's in document. Okay, an Esri widget button. Okay, so we can, it's going to be a particular style, etc. We've got some text there, change polygon color. It's a big load of text, probably doesn't fit on the button. And you see, we're starting to get some complex JavaScript here, I would say. Okay, it's not massive, but you know what I mean. There's a hell of a lot of curly brackets coming up. So let's go back to this. Let's do a save. Okay, let's go to this. I can't remember what that RGB code's for, actually. Has it worked? It's worked. There's my button. Change polygon color. What? C-O-L-O-R. Did I really type C-O-L-O-R? Hold on a second. Ha, interesting. So I typed in how it should be spelled. You see, look. That is the right spelling. And it's changed my text there. Actually, I'm guessing it did, didn't it? Yeah, okay. Interesting. So it does an American spell checker. Okay, hit Charlie, change polygon color. Boom! There we go. That sort of lilac color. Pretty good. And we could probably make it, do a toggle button and unclick and stuff and change to other colors. So that's pretty good interaction. Let's make a more interesting interaction. That's one interaction. Good example there of a button that does something to the geometry. So let's add a button. This time I'm interested in coordinates. So add a button that displays the coordinates of where a user clicks. Display updated code. I'm saying that as well, display updated code, because I've got a feeling it might try and regenerate slightly different code. You know what I mean? And I think those are kind of sort of experiences you should perhaps go for, because I think it may slightly alter the base code and just go through things slightly differently. I mean, that's just my gut feel, because it will try and be smart, really. But in fact, I'm happy with this existing code base, so I just want it to just add functionality to that existing code base. Probably wise to keep a copy, actually, when you've got something that really works how you want, I would keep it. So, okay, so we've got our button there with our incorrect spelling, and we've got a new button, toggle coordinate display. That's interesting. Is it a toggle then? Is it doing it on and off? That'll be interesting. It must have a default. Did I see that? Okay, so that's the polygon display coordinates. Okay, so it's Latin long, and bring it back, and then oh yeah, so it looks like you effectively off on. Okay, that's interesting. So copy code, let's go to here, paste in, press save, go back, Shift F5. Nice. Liking the look of this. Toggle to coordinate display. There it is. Latitude, longitude. Oh yeah, so it was on off. I thought it was. That's cool. Probably need to add something like, turn the button red or something when it's switched on. It's not totally working correctly though. So, but I could play with that. That's got me started. But yeah, it kind of worked first time, but there's something sort of blocking it. Again, this is where you really need your JavaScript sort of skill set. So I click, nothing happens. Toggle coordinate display, click, I get latitude, longitude, click, updated, brilliant. Okay, turn it off, excellent. Yeah, turn it back on again. Oh no, it is working fine. Maybe it's when I clicked on the pop-up it messes it up. That's cool, actually. Okay, let's turn it off. But let's go one more thing. Let's do one more thing with this, which what I'd like to do is bring the coordinates back in British National Grid. So I think I can. I wonder if it would. See, I think if I'm going to ask it this question, update the coordinate button to display British National Grid. Now, if I do that, it could go off to some geometry server, the public one from Esri, and do something, some reprojection or what have you. So that's certainly a possibility. There's also the idea of referencing the proj4 file, with all the coordinate information in. So why don't we do that? Why don't we make it just slightly? Let's tighten it into using, using Proj 4. How about that? Making it go down a particular path, because then you could put Proj 4 on your server and it'd be much quicker and a bit tighter than going off to a public geometry server. So that's my gut feel anyway. So let's do that. So I'm guessing it's going to have to go off and get the library. Yeah, okay, there you go. Actually, I should have said display all the code as well, shouldn't I? But anyway, I can see. Oh no, it's got in there. It's integrated it. So you can see, because it's got to get that source. It's got to load into the script a source file to get information from, and there's a Proj 4 JS. Like I said, you'd probably put that on your own server, really. But it's up to you architecturally what you do. So interesting. It's certainly done that. It's defined the definition, meridian and stuff. 27700. It's looking good. Did it have this API key in there before? I didn't notice that. I'd have to check that out. No, of course, this is all public accessible. Anyway, let's just copy. I don't want to mess about with diving too much into it. Just want to get on with it, really. Actually, you see what I mean? Where have my widgets gone? The widgets are gone, and that's exactly why I said display updated code before, because I've come across this sort of thing before. Anyway, so I personally think there's a strong possibility it's not gonna run. There we go. You see, it's not working, and I don't want it sort of go into debugging stuff. Classic ChatGPT going along, and it's come up with something different, and it's messed it all up. So I wonder if I can revert back to previous code base and doing recent and doing last change. That's good. I like that. Almost version control going on there. Nice. So this code should take us back. I need to open up Notepad again. I accidentally closed it. So this should go back to what was there before. It's certainly looking like it's looking better, but did you notice, in that one before back here, I just thought, wait a second, this is not looking right. And it completely came up with different, and I'm not even gonna, why is the BNG bit now not working and stuff? Well, I'm not gonna go into it. I'm not that, I haven't got that much time on my hands. I think there's a Facebook meme going around as why JavaScript programmers program underwater. It's because underwater no one can see you crying. So let's copy this again. So this should be back to now in the system, latest version, back to what was working before. So if I just bring up that again, so this should be excellent. Yes, so yeah, without the coordinates bit. Okay, so it took away the coordinates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to update existing code to display British National Grid coordinates using Proj 4. So upload to display British wherever the user clicks on the map. Gosh, I'm being very pedantic, aren't this is a key lesson here. You know, ChatGPT is absolutely a tool. It's a tool in your toolbox. It is not the be all and end all. It just kind of helps you along. It points in. That's what I find. It points in the right direction. It is don't take it as right. There's a lot of rubbish in it, even with 4, and it just gets things wrong in lots of different ways. So you have to be careful about how you ask for things, as we just saw, because this code is actually not looking too bad at all off the top of my head, you know, without proper analysis and sort of review. But it worked. And also, is JavaScript anyway in the JS API the way you want to go? Is it? If it's just public data, then okay, yeah. But if you've got ArcGIS Online and stuff, when, well, really, you know, what's going on there? Instant app, for example, will probably do the job. But you know, it's always good to look at these things. So that looks better. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to debug it. It's just going to be what it is. But this is the last thing I'll be doing. But you know, if it works, that'll be good. And no, that broke it in some manner. So I don't know why, but there's the script, and it's for another time to debug. I think it's actually, I think it's completely lost the plot, actually. But anyway, there you go. That is a quick look at ChatGPT, seeing how far I could push it. You know, with getting the script right. So really, it's a good way to get the basics of JavaScript with the JS API, that's for sure. There's nothing wrong with that. But as you can see, really, you need to know about JavaScript to fix things and to understand what's going on. If you treat it just as, oh, it's, you know, it's the Oracle at Delphi, and I pump my question into it and get the answer of that, and it'll always be right, sort of thing. If you treat it like that, you're not going to have a good experience with it. And as I just proved there, it's fallen over. I've got an idea of why it's fallen over, but you know, you'd think it would have been absolutely fine. Certainly I would have thought so. But you know, we've got a good way forwards. Anyway, I hope you find that interesting, and good luck with it. Thank you.